Hey peeps! So, I have a story that I want to share with you. And this story was actually part of the book tournament that we were doing at school on our bulletin board. This story is called Truman. And it's actually a pretty new story. It came out a few months ago, so you probably have never read this story before. But this is a really awesome story about a pet turtle named Truman, and his owner, Sarah, goes away. And Truman really misses her. And so I thought this was kind of the perfect book to share right now because with school being closed and other places being closed, you are probably missing somebody right now, whether it be friends, family members, coaches, teachers, classmates. You're probably missing somebody. I know I am. So, when we're reading the story today, pay attention to Truman and how he's feeling. Maybe you can relate, or maybe you felt that way before. I can't wait to hear what you think of this story, so let's get started. All right, before we start reading the story, there are a few words that I want to make sure you know. The first word is pensive. If you are being pensive, that means that you are thinking deeply and seriously. This word is vast. Vast is used to describe a great amount or an extremely large open space. The next word is uncharted. Uncharted is usually used to describe land or a space that has not been explored before. And then the last word is unsettling. If something is unsettling, it is upsetting to you or disturbing. So it might be kind of scary. This story is called Truman. It's written by Jean Reedy and illustrated by Lucy Ruth Cummins. Truman was small, the size of a small donut, and every bit as sweet. He lived with his Sarah, high above honking taxis and growling trash trucks and shrieking cars, and the number 11 bus, which traveled south. Truman never honked or growled or shrieked at anything or anybody. He was peaceful and pensive, just like his Sarah. One day, Sarah ate a big banana with her breakfast, clipped a blue bow in her hair, and buttoned up a brand new sweater. She strapped on a backpack so big, 32 small tortoises could ride along in it, but 0 tortoises did. Sarah placed 7 green beans in Truman's dish, 2 more than usual. She kissed her finger and touched it to his shell and whispered, "Be brave." Then she left. Not to worry, she'd left before and she'd always returned. But this time, that backpack was particularly big, and Sarah looked particularly pensive. And that banana and that bow, and let's not forget about those extra beans. That's when Truman saw something he'd never seen before. Sarah boarding the number 11 bus going south. The bus roared away. Truman waited for Sarah to return. He waited and waited. He waited 1,000 hours, tortoise hours, that is, until he could wait no longer. He would go after his Sarah. He would catch the number 11 south, even amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking, even if it seemed impossible. Bonk. That's when he noticed the rocks, 3 rocks that had always been there, ordinary rocks that now seemed extraordinary. And the arm of the couch, and the pillow propped just right, and that tall, tall boot, and the rug, that glorious, endless rug. Without Sarah, their home seemed vast and uncharted and unsettling. Truly unsettling. Look at those scary toys. But perhaps most unsettling was that Truman could no longer see the taxis or the trash trucks or the cars or the number 11 bus. Which way was south anyway? Now the sun hung low, like Truman's head and heart. Just then, looks like he spotted a flower. And then, vroom, screech, whoosh, up floors and under doors, Truman heard it, a bus. It was time to catch the number 11 south, amid the honking and the growling and the shrieking. Yet standing there in that ray of light, Truman felt peaceful and pensive and brave. But just as he was about to slip under the door through that opening barely the size of a small tortoise, Sarah! She spotted him shining like the sun. "Truman!" she cried. She scooped him up and said things like, "Oh my goodness," and "You," and "How did you ever?" and "Amazing." Sarah kissed her finger and touched it to his shell and tucked him back safely in his tank, where he was peaceful and pensive and proud. And later, just before bedtime, she read him a story. Now, Truman knew that one day soon, he and his Sarah might travel south to see new sights and hear new sounds and think new thoughts together. The end. So it seems that Truman really missed his owner, Sarah, while she was away for the day. So I'm wondering, who or what do you miss right now? You can let me know your thoughts on this story and who or what you are missing in Seesaw. Toodaloo, kangaroos.